Hi guys, my name is David and welcome back to another episode of Grimm Tuesdays. Now, this is an old series that I started a while ago on my channel and I've been meaning to bring it back. So this year I decided to bring this series back on my channel. This series being where I read all the stories or all the fairy tales from the Brothers Grimm and do a little video on them as well. Um, I've done a bunch of these videos before. I've done a whole playlist for it, and this little, I presume, vintage book is what I'm working with. I know this isn't all the Grimm fairy tales, but when I've made my way through this, I will read the ones that aren't actually in this. So this is going to be a silly little video. Um, not expecting it to be super popular, but yeah, I want to say at least I've read all the Grimm fairy tales. So the story I will be discussing today is called The Golden Bird, and it has an illustration for this for this story rather, which I will show you now. So the Golden Bird is set in this kingdom where in this courtyard of this castle, there is a tree which grows these golden apples. And as you can imagine, these golden apples are worth a exorbitant amount of money. And when the king uh, goes out and tries to pick these apples, he finds that some of them are missing. And he soon discovers that there is this golden bird that is taking these apples for some unspecified reason, probably because of nourishment and it's hungry. So he tells his three sons to go and get this golden bird. So when they go out, one by one, obviously, as they do in these fairy tales, they come across a sentient fox, a fox that can speak and has intelligence. And this fox tells them that each of these princes will come to these two inns, these two taverns or pubs or whatever you want to label them as. One inn is going to be lively, there's going to be a roaring fire, there's going to be loads of singing and dancing and drinking and merrymaking, and it's going to be very welcoming. But he tells them, he warns them in fact, to not go into that inn. Instead, he wants them to go into another inn which is nearby, which isn't very welcoming. It looks like a very bad place, but he tells them that this is where they should go. But as you can probably guess, the princes ignore this advice, and one by one they go into the welcoming inn, the inn that looks nicer, where they are trapped for a period of time for the story. Now, I think the third brother or the third prince overcomes this task, and the fox tells him that in the castle or in this castle there is the golden bird that he's looking for. But he tells the brother that there are two cages near this golden bird. One that is a old wooden, broken down, disgusting cage that the fox tells this brother that he has to put the bird into so he can take the bird to his father. And the fox warns the brother that he mustn't, under any circumstances, put the golden bird into the golden cage, because if he does, something bad will happen. Well, at this moment, the brother puts this golden bird in this golden cage because he feels that it's more appropriate to put this magnificent bird in this magnificent cage, as he thinks that it's wrong to put this bird in a old, broken down cage. So I believe another king in this new kingdom wakes up, his soldiers wake up, and he is sentenced to death. And this castle, I believe, is called the Golden Castle. I think I could be wrong about that. Everything's golden in this story. No idea why. I believe that there is a golden horse, which the fox advises the brother again to put the um, dirty old saddle, old beaten up saddle on the horse so the brother could ride the horse. But again, he just ignores the advice of this fox and puts the nicer saddle on, which results in all this bad stuff happening. This kind of leads up to the brother winning the affection of a princess. So when he goes back home, he comes across his brothers who have been, as I said, trapped in this mysterious magical inn. And when his brothers see the golden bird and the horse and the princess and all these magnificent things that their brother has with him, I believe that they are consumed with jealousy and they try to, murder their brother by pushing him into a river or a lake. This doesn't really have the effect that they desired because he survives. And the fox says that at the ends of all these tasks, he wants, for his reward, he wants this brother to chop off its head and its feet. And this is very unusual. I don't know why it wants this. And then at the end of the story, the prince goes to the castle to see his father, and everyone lives happily ever after. I believe also that the brothers are forgiven by the so-called hero in the book. The brother, this younger brother, is sometimes labelled as a hero, even though but for most of the times it just seems to be luck that he's getting away with all this stuff. It's a very it was a very repetitive story, but I believe the what I got from it is that you should do what you're told, even though you may disagree with it, and never take the easy path. I mean, the concept of choosing the most attractive and better option rather than the worst option and the option that's not more attractive is maybe kind of a theme for it. This story was about 6 or 7 pages long, so a lot longer than most stories from the Grimm brothers. I thought it was okay. It was a nice fantasy story. We find out a bit more about the fox at the ends. There's a kind of a enchantment that this fox has been put on his fox. And if it was me, if I was the fox, I would probably get a bit fed up giving this advice to all these people when they just ignore it. I mean, I'll be like, well, you're just going to ignore me, so why am I going to help you? I think that this one was a kind of a middle of the range story from the Brothers Grimm, but it was a entertaining story. So that's been my discussion on The Golden Bird by the Brothers Grimm. As I said, this is an old series that I have brought back for the year, and I will be doing my very, very best to upload a video on one of these fairy tales every Tuesday, although I might miss the odd day or two. But I will do my best to post as regularly as I can. So that has been my video, guys. Let me know, have you read anything from the Brothers Grimm? Have you read The Golden Bird? What did you think about it? And let me know what you think about me bringing back this series. Did you find it entertaining? Well, hopefully you did. And with all that out of the way, I'll see you on my next one.